Hi, my name is Jenn Meeropol. I'm the Executive Director of the Rosenberg Fund for Children and the granddaughter of Ethel and Julius Rosenberg. My grandparents were young, radical Jewish communists. They organized for workers' rights and against the rise of fascism abroad and political repression at home during and after the Great Depression. They were arrested in the early 1950s during the height of the McCarthy period Red Scare. So my father, Robert Meeropol, their younger son, was 3 years old when his parents were arrested, and when they were executed, he was 6 and his older brother, Michael, was 10. So my grandparents were charged with conspiracy to commit espionage for allegedly stealing the secret of the atomic bomb and giving it to Russia. They refused to cooperate. They refused to name names and were eventually convicted and executed. So last summer, there was the release of previously secret material that demonstrated not only that my grandmother was not a spy, but that the government knew this and manufactured evidence against her. And they really were trying to use her as a lever to try to force my grandfather to cooperate, to name names. And despite significant pressure, including the fact that they had 2 young children at home and the threat of the death penalty, my grandparents refused to do that. So we've launched a campaign led by the Rosenberg Fund for Children. We're seeking a presidential proclamation that the conviction was unjust and the execution was wrongful, which we would consider an exoneration of my grandmother. So we really feel strongly that this is not just of historical significance. The fact that the government was able to engineer a conviction and execution based on created evidence is dangerous to anyone in this country who seeks to protest, or to any activist, anyone involved in anything that really is challenging the government and powerful interests. And today we're seeing a similar kind of fear of others. In this case, it's Islamophobia, it's a fear of immigrants. We're seeing a lot of this fear and repression directed not at communists, but at anti-police brutality activists, Black Lives Matter organizers, immigrants' rights activists, grand jury resistors, those who are fighting for the environment and animal rights, and a whole host of other progressive causes. At the Rosenberg Fund for Children, a number of our beneficiary families are involved in current social justice movements and facing police and government repression that we think is in many ways part of a continuum from my grandparents' case to what people today are facing. So we are asking people first and foremost to sign the petition at rfc.org/Ethel and kind of be part of this call on President Obama to issue this proclamation. And once you've done so, also share it with your networks, whether through social media or email, and help us spread the word about the effort to exonerate my grandmother.